As always, welcome back to my channel, LR Shion. Now, we will review the next chapter of Grappler Baki, the great father and son quarrel arc. It's the chapter where Hanma Yujiro invited Baki to have a dinner with him. Do you think Baki will do something unexpected in this dinner? Let's find out. But first, please know that you can buy the new Grappler Baki volume collections, Baki the Grappler Season 1 and 2 DVDs, and Bandai's Grappler Baki figurine on the link on the description below. By buying, you can help the channel grow and release more Baki videos. Please subscribe and let's begin. The chapter starts outside the house of Hanma Baki. An officer is saying. It looks peaceful. Yeah. The kid is cooking for his father. What else do you expect? Then the officer looks at his binoculars. The ogre Hanma Yujiro is standing there. And he is smiling. It can't be. In a blink of an eye, Hanma Yujiro disappeared, instantly appearing behind the police officers. He then said, "You guys. I'd like to know, why are you spying in other people's houses?" Due to unimaginable fear, the officer in front of him tried to hide into his bulletproof shield. But the ogre easily penetrated it like it was nothing. He then said, "Hey. You got a problem with me?" A few days later, the riot team report described the incident with these words. It was the first time that the personnel in charge saw a human head shake so fast and so violently. The agents were perplexed. After that, the ogre just threw the officer to the ground. This section describes the personal experience of an agent present at the scene of the incident. Lieutenant Kanematsu Takashi. "Yes. I heard the rumors and reports, and I said to myself, this guy must be stronger than any fighter around. But when I say strong, I mean strong as humanly possible. What I saw that night, there was nothing human about it. Have you had the desire to meet your most admired idol, say, like Jesus, Elvis, or a real angel? I'm just a policeman, but I never expected to meet the only idol capable of making me lose my cool. I'm a fighting fan, you know." And he appeared there. To be honest, the only thing I wanted was to jump into his arms and cry for the immense privilege of embracing my idol so close before I die. We now move on inside the house of Hanma Baki. The son of Ogre is remembering the words of his dad, thinking, "I mean it. You have been working really hard for these meetings, and I also want the chance of treating my special guest right. So, let me invite you to a dinner in my style. For tomorrow night, don't plan on anything else." Baki then questioned, "What should I wear?" We now move on outside Hanma Yujiro's hotel. Baki is saying, "This sucks. I can't go in there dressed like this. These kind of places demands their patrons to stick to a dress code. They may not even let me in." Then someone greeted him saying, "Monsieur Hanma. I've been expecting you. Well, you see, your dinner will be held in a private suite that your father has prepared. Your choice of clothes won't be a problem in this case." Baki then thinks, "These prices? Can they legally charge that much for food? Amazing. The full wall is just a window. I'm glad you're satisfied with the suite. Does my father come here often?" "Oh yes. He's one of our favorite regulars." "What does he usually likes to eat?" "Monsieur Hanma Sr.? He's a bon vivant with a discriminating taste. Fresh vegetables, cooked fish, meat. He eats all sort of cooking styles and rare dishes. But instead of eating meat of common animals like cows, pork, or chicken, he prefers the meat of wild animals like deer, wild ducks, and wild boars. We have a team of hunters that provide game for our special dishes." All of a sudden, Yujiro entered the room saying, "Mr. Manager. What you're telling him is sort of personal, you know." "Oh no. If that would inconvenience you, please accept my apologies, kind sir." "Wow, what a style. He's good. Young master was inquiring about your culinary preferences, that's all. So I thought, maybe someday, your son would like to surprise you with a low-class kid dressed like that. That's no son of mine. Sorry, Dad. I knew it. Here it comes. You are being invited to the most expensive restaurant in Tokyo, even if it was a mid-class restaurant in a small city. For any special occasion, you must wear a semi-formal dress, here in China or wherever. Any 18-year-old guy on the street knows that. Sorry. My parents didn't raise me properly." Are you being sarcastic, you idiot? No, father. That's the simple truth. Dress like this. Talk like that. Do this. Don't do that. This is proper, this is not. Smile and say thanks. Don't talk with your mouth full. Don't raise your voice. Act like this. Can you believe that my parents never taught me proper etiquette and social behavior? Not even once in my life. All I know. Fight and be strong. The only lesson that Father Hanma Yujiro continues to impart to his little son Baki. And to this day, the son continues excelling at it. Seeking the guidance of my mother. You know what words she repeatedly emphasized? Do as your father says. Fight and be strong. I became an expert at that. Just like you taught me. So, if you want to try the fruits of your labor, you can do it. Right here. Right now. But even with Hanma Baki's provocations, Yujiro unexpectedly calmed down, then said. May you guide us. Manager. Both Baki and the manager are surprised by the ogre's actions. After that, the manager guides them peacefully at the table. He then said. Gentlemen. Would you like some appetizers or refreshments before the main course? Can I have some fresh orange juice? Dry sherry. A big glass. It's an exemplary aperitif wine. Try a little. Dad, this is great. And this is how the dinner with my father began that night. This is so unreal. Having dinner with my father like this. Our first time going out. Far too surreal. So this. Yes. Allow me to explain the contents of the smorgasbord. The dark truffles are placed on a strainer that can enhance their flavor. For seasonings, olive is the correct choice. To get a more traditional Japanese flavor, you can dip the tofu in the dairy French cream. On the other hand, the chief specialty is more of. Please enjoy your meal. Yujiro then said. Use the silverware starting from the far left and right. For this particular dish, you have to use this spoon. Ah, sure. Ah, delicious. This is quite good. I see. You place it that way. If it was beef stew, vegetable broth, or even seafood stew, I wouldn't be so surprised, but. Is this turtle soup? Really? Good. At the meal, between both of us. Time weaved in and out. Just as if the world existed just for this event. Nothing could ruin this moment. The manager then questioned. Is there anything else you may want? Dessert perhaps? I'm fine with this. But I'll have a large mug of espresso. Make it strong. Understood. I'll have the same please. My father's attitude was splendid. He was courteous like a true gentleman. He used to frequent places like this all the time. Somebody worth of admiration. Somebody without faults. Now that I think about it, that was the time when it started. It was bitter. Just as if the young man was tasting pieces of his own soul. The memories, ideas, and hidden resentment acquired a familiar flavor. This cup. That was the last time he was going to absorb all that bitterness before letting it all go. Yujiro then questioned. Why do you want to know? Why? Because all these years, I still can't find a logical explanation. I really want to know the truth. It may sound weird to you, but I need to know why my mother had to die at my father's hands. I have never asked you for once. Tell me now, father. Why you had to kill the one that loved you the most. What was in it for you? The ogre angrily replied. What I do in my life is my goddamn business, and nobody else's. I need not explain myself, especially towards a resented little child that can't let go. Know where you stand, kid. You may say that, and it's true. But I was fighting for my mom's love, and you took her away from me, you bastard. After hearing those words, Yujiro stands up. His anger is building up inside of him. Destroying the whole table by only putting his hand. Baki then said. All right, father. If you're going to act like that, you leave me no choice. Heh. Come on, old man. Mitsuo Nanaka, manager of the Aragawa restaurant in Shimbashi, in charge of serving the dinner that night, told soon afterwards. He would never forget that dreadful scene for as long as he lives. He said he was never so close to death before. Because Hanma Baki is grabbing the strongest being by the collar. He then said. You know what I'm going to do if you don't answer. What do you think of this chapter? Do you think Hanma Baki's action will finally start the awaited father and son fight? Comment down your opinion below. Special thanks to Juan, the Broken Monarch, Stranger Dragons Prevail, Zan de Claus, Aaron Wieland, Valente Jr. Villegas, James Berry, Evan Edrock, Caleb, Shade Jackson, Dr. Manhattan, Francois, Momo, Imi Trabbit, Kevin Ackwood, Jacob Hanma, The Real Zurvan, Big Samzilla, Baki Hanma, Jacket, Spike and Damo, Instinct, Guts Duwang, El Muchos, a Patreon of the Aughts, Pedro Lara, Daryl Hudson, and Nicholas Pimenta for helping our channel by being a supporter. We really appreciate your help. If you want to support my channel, please subscribe to my Patreon, LR Shion. I will put a link in the description below. Our next video will be about the beginning of the greatest father and son fight. Stay tuned.